I've been talking a lot inside my coaching group and inside my one on one containers about how to market yourself as a wellness entrepreneur, how to show up in a way that not only feels like really congruent, right? Because I don't, the word authentic, like as much as I really love it. Sorry, I need to get my light to even some of this stuff out here. It's congruency, right? It's congruency to um, what you know, how you can support people. It's being congruent with your values, and woo, much better. And at the end of the day, it's also being really, really clear on how you want to present yourself as a business owner. So one of the ways that we're going to do this, and I'm going to do my best here to not to write in a way that doesn't mirror, because this will mirror, um, is you need to understand the flow of how things work, right? There we go. The connection. It's literally, you guys, maybe you know, maybe you don't know, I have a 4.5 year old. So I tell her bedtime stories almost every night, and she loves Hansel and Gretel. And what do Hansel and Gretel do? They drop breadcrumbs. So when we're looking at how do we position ourselves in terms of our messaging, right? First of all, branding is very important. So, but we're not going to talk about that today. We'll be doing a little bit of that on day one of the 10K challenge. But think of the breadcrumbs. How do we connect the dots? And the most important thing that you're going to do is have the offer. Okay. This offer right here is the most important piece of this puzzle, because it's going to inform pretty much everything you do. It's going to inform your posts, it's going to inform your emails, it's going to inform your content, blog, YouTube, whatever strategy you're using, right? So everything starts out from the offer. So if you don't have this offer laid out, you are basically doing this with your messaging, because there's a secret. Basically, whatever your offer is, you're just going to tear this apart piece by piece and start creating content, creating content, creating content, creating content, creating content from this. Like, you're literally taking what you teach paid, you're going to teach it for free. And you're like, why would I do that, Ari? Because it's impossible for anybody to get a mega breakthrough. For example, if my offer is, I don't know, menopause support for women, let's just say, nutritional menopause for women, like me talking about a hormone in a piece of content isn't going to solve everybody's problem. And consider that the algorithm isn't going to show everything to everybody. So if this isn't well developed, your offer, how do you expect people to be like clear on what you're doing? How do you expect people to know what you focus on? And here's the kicker, that raise your hand if you're a multi-passionate, multi-talented, multi-everything, because we've been doing what we've been doing for a long time. Like, I've been in this industry, in business. I've been in business for 20 years. I've learned a lot about business, brick and mortar, trade show, in-person events, retreats. Like, I've done everything right under the sun. Online business. In wellness, I was in wellness. I'm still am. I'll get a private client or two here and there. Yoga, right? I was in that industry for 17 years. I pretty much try to do everything under the sun in there, health coach, meditation coach, asana, acrobatics, like the whole gamut. So I'm a multi-passionate, multi-skilled, multifaceted business owner. And so how do I take all that and package it. And it's crazy because I remember when I was putting together my first, in theory, signature offer, because before I used to teach somebody else's signature system. I had learned a system, and I, was I don't want to call myself a robot, but like I followed a system. And then when it was time for me to make my own system, which was when I was leading teacher trainings, that was when like the light bulb came up. So I was able to take, and I didn't do it alone. I had a business partner at that moment, but we were able to take our vast knowledge of the yogic tradition and put it together into a system that actually ended up helping probably over 100 students by the time that we had, finished teaching so many teacher trainings, because we would get 14, 10, 16 people per training, which was, first of all, great income as well, scalable. So in my 5 days to 10K challenge, I'm not going to teach you to do a training, but you can. And I've had actually a lot of my clients that I've helped create trainings, like Patty, she is now hitting 10K months consistently because she's doing more trainings, and she's really focusing on her like expertise as a Reiki practitioner to do so. Same thing with Sandra. She's, getting 10K months plus because she had a really powerful launch. And she's doing it by a signature system of creating co-author books. Even her publishing, we systematized it so that she can say this. She can basically say, this is how I work. This is what makes me different. This is what makes me special. And this is why you would benefit from publishing with me versus this other person, because she's got a way of working. So that's basically what we're going to do in the challenge. And if you look at this, if you look at this little circle, there's something really powerful in here, because when we think of a marketing plan, right? A lot of people think of a funnel. I think of an ecosystem, right? This is like a closed loop ecosystem. And one thing triggers another. And I work actually a lot in ecosystems. Even the software that I created is an ecosystem. So what if you looked at your business by having like entries and exits, but people are moving in this very unique spiral and they're moving inwards. So let's say somebody comes in because think about, how do people enter your world? There's probably many different ways. Like, you're not just sitting in a cave meeting no one. Like, you might be out at Whole Foods and you might meet somebody or see somebody you hadn't seen in a long time. Like, I got a client at the gym because we started talking. I left my business card, Google, right? So many entry points. So however clients are coming in, and why don't we make a list of those? I think that would actually be really helpful for you guys. So organic, this is going to be referrals. This is going to be your YouTube. This is going to be a Google. This is going to be the person that knows you from a long time and has been following you. So we're going to take that as super organic traffic, both in person, online, and by referrals. Okay, that's how you're going to fill your organic bucket. And that organic bucket can come real fast. It can be a little slow. But in theory, you're constantly growing that organic bucket. Then we're going to go into the joint venture bucket. This is when you tap into other people's audiences. Let's say that my friend is a life coach and a lot of her clients are wanting to start their own businesses and she brings me in. Or, for example, I have a friend who runs life coach certification, psychosynthesis. Boom, I go in, I teach, I sometimes get clients from it. And then the last would be the paid. You might have seen an ad of mine rolling around somewhere. That would be the third way of traffic. So if you really, again, right? Look how people are entering your world, and we're looking at it as a spiral. People are coming in. I don't know, think of like a current in the ocean. You step into the current and then you're transported into the spiral. And what's the first thing that happens the minute somebody enters? Well, you need to identify where they entered. So did they enter somewhere that's free? Like I had a lot of people enter my world from a free downloadable that I had, my retreat starter kit. So I have a lot of freebies, a free webinar, right? Where do people enter from? That's going to dictate how you nurture that relationship. So if they entered through that freebie, what are they getting immediately? How much value are they getting? Are you warming them up? Are you giving them a buzz? Like, how are you connecting with this person? If they came into a paid, right? Maybe it was like a digital product that you're selling. Boom, paid. Or like me, I run a lot of paid workshops. So how did these people come in, right? What was that now connection point? Or did they go from free to paid? Okay, so lots of different ways that you can think that people are coming into this current and they're moving inwards towards your signature offer. But however this is, when you're looking at your launch strategy or your marketing strategy for the signature offer, we have to be cognizant that at every step of the way, there has to be a value and connection. Are you sending emails to your list? What are you sending? How often? Are you doing it in a way that, again, is very congruent to your goals for your audience? Are you posting on social media in a way that feels very aligned to the way you want to be perceived as a professional, right? As a credible source. And when we are in this like marketing flow, right, where we're wanting to divulge information, it starts generating pressure. Again, think of this whirlwind that I just created, this current. And we just, had this crazy hurricane here in Florida, and it really is all about pressure, right? That pressure is moving people inward. And in here, this is your signature offer, right? Excuse me. This is where most of your money lies, right here in this middle. Most of the money that you're going to make is here. And this is a way to not only build a 6-figure, but you can build a 7-figure business like this. Let me give you an example. Gentleman I know, his name's Edward. He teaches people about like financial, building financial wealth. He teaches people all about like investments, and his pathway is fairly clear. Content, okay? Content to say a word, boom, you get a link to a free group. From that free group, there's a lot of nurturing that you can then upgrade to the paid version of the group, or you could buy courses on their own. From there, you could also join a $15,000 service, and so on and so forth. But pretty much most of the things that he's doing are super scalable, and they take the user into different levels of experience. The free experience is limited but valuable. Then you're moving into the paid experience, which is also limited, but now you have access to a lot more. And then you have the high level experience where people are going to work with you one-on-one. Now, one-on-one is usually not scalable, but in this scenario, he's got a team. So now it's super scalable, because I remember I asked him the other day and I go, for people to work directly with you, it's probably really expensive, right? He's like, yeah, like 6 figures expensive. So he's built a system that's actually extremely scalable, as long as he keeps growing a team. But we have to look at the size of our audience, and we have to start making decisions that are strategic for where we're at in business. Edward has 1 million people following him on Instagram and like 300,000 on YouTube. So he can move to what's called a volume-based business. So imagine if he wants to build 7 figures, let's just do the math at $97. So let's do 1 million divided by 97. He needs 10,000 people in his group, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's 10,000 sales, a little bit more, 10,300 sales. But that's 1% of his Instagram audience. So that math works, right? That math works. And even if, some of those people did the 15K, then phew, super fast. So we have to look at your specific business. This is what I get to do in the challenge coming up, is that I get to look at your specific business, and we will build your marketing system based upon where you're at. I'm just starting my business. Great. How are we going to build the pressure to those potential 10K plus months? You've been established, but you're not really marketing. You're kind of just, operating, because I know that's what I used to do. I just did, right? Just kept moving, would see clients, teach a class, like do the things. And once I stopped, I was able to work on my business, created systems, boom. Then I said, this is the next logical step. And this is when my income skyrocketed. Okay. So think of where you're at in your business, and we get to design a plan that makes sense for your business. We get to design a system that brings awareness to where your gaps are and to where there's more potential, right? That aspect of like potential and possibilities, because anything is possible as long as you know exactly what you have to do. So I hope this was helpful. I got really inspired to show up here today. Again, for those of you who don't know, we're going to be giving 10% of our proceeds, our profits, to hurricane victims. We've already been donating a bunch to the people in North Carolina, to the people in Florida, and now we're going to do a second round for everybody that got, their homes destroyed. From Milton, we had some crazy tornadoes. So, you joining is not just for you, but also for those in need. What else? That's pretty much it. So I hope this was helpful. I felt like it was a good way to break it down, and really looking at your signature offer, your signature systems, is having the potential for high profitability, not needing a ton of sales. Like you don't need 10,300 sales for your business. Like if I do the math for my business, my average price point is about $5,000. So if I look at 1 million divided by 5,000, right? I need 200 people. No, I didn't do the math right. Sorry. There we go. Oh no, I did do it right. I need 200 people at $5,000 to make $1 million. Why not? Right? Why not? That's not that many people. That's how many people live in my neighborhood. So if we start like really activating, right, the way that we work, if we look at our offers, if we build things in a way that has like a systematic approach, then guys, the sky's the limit here. So don't forget to sign up for the challenge. You can find the link in my bio, or you could just comment below this video. You can comment 10K and I'll send you the link. And what else? Nothing. Thank you. Have a great evening. I'll talk to you soon.